Now we're ready to go. So if you have been anyway, like if you're feeling emotionally or mentally sad, it's kind of heavy. Just acknowledge that to yourself. It's okay. And just feel. So what I mean by that is don't think. So just check your meditation posture. If you're sitting at a desk, on a chair, make sure your feet are down in a parallel position. Perhaps you've got a cushion underneath. Or other than that, have something underneath your sit bones, something quite firm underneath your sit bones. Underneath your knees, if your hips are tight and you're sitting in the regular cross-legged posture. Right hand is nestled in the left, with the thumbs touching. Make sure your pelvis is upright, not tilted too far back or too far forward. Imagine your spine is a string of pearls of light stretching from the base of the spine all the way up through the crown of your head. Shoulders are aligned with the hips. Just imagine that someone is either above you or behind you, very gently lengthening your spine. And your head, the top of your head is reaching towards the ceiling. Your head is slightly tipped forward, tip of the tongue on the roof of the mouth, and relax the jaw. Just bring your attention now to the crown of the head and relax the scalp and the forehead and the eyes and the back of the eyes, the nose, the area around the mouth. Just bring your mind, your attention to the back of the head, the scalp there, and the base of the skull, the occipital bone. And relax your ears, and temple and jaw again. And bring your attention to the neck and the shoulders, the upper thoracic in between your shoulder blades, the throat, the chest, the belly, and your limbs, hands, fingers, and feet and toes. And bring the mind to the breath. And notice the sensation of the air as you're breathing in, slightly cool air. And as you're exhaling, it's slightly warmer. And if there's any sounds in your environment, in your external environment, just allow those sounds to be there. And try not to follow the sound with your mind or push it away with your mind. And then check what's going on in your mind. Check your thoughts. So these thoughts will arise and abide, fall, if you don't engage with them. So try not to engage with the thoughts that are arising in the mind. So if you're sort of a little bit distracted by, dinner or a conversation you've just had, or something that's happening, or maybe you're working on your taxes, or whatever's going on, just for the next, 20, 22 minutes or so, just let it go. Try not to engage and focus on this practice. So let's bring to mind all the people of our life, all the ones we love, the ones who we find irritating and they find us irritating, so we don't like them at all. And then there's this category of people who are strangers to us. And just keep in mind that they're all equal in their wish to be happy, their wish to avoid suffering. They're also all equal with this, having this unbelievable, incredible potential for wisdom and bliss, kindness, compassion. So just think we're going to do this meditation this evening on Vajrasattva, this purification practice for all the people in our life. Welcome, Kim. And by extension for all sentient beings, and we might just particularly bring to mind all the people who are in Ukraine right now. Their nice, normal, kind of regular life has been just turned upside down. So just send them as much love and light as you can as we do this practice. Think that they're purifying, that they're having the opportunity to do this practice with us, and they're purifying all their karma that they're experiencing right now to be in the middle of a war zone. So just think, there is no karma that we've done, no action that we have done that is so awful that it cannot be purified. So we come, first of all, the four opponent powers. The first of these is regret. So think sincerely from the depths of your heart, anything that you have done to harm any living being on this day, in this life, and in all past lives, and you can think of specific actions of your body and your speech. So you can think of something that may have happened this week. Did you say something to someone? Did you accidentally kill an ant? And the reason to regret is based on the logic of karma. Given that we experienced everything due to our past actions, our past karma, having harmed others, we will necessarily experience suffering in the future. And we cannot bear the thought of any more suffering. We already understand and experience enough of it. So we know from logically, therefore, we want to remove the karmic seeds before they ripen as any more suffering or any future suffering. So think like this: I regret from the depths of my heart having harmed others with my body and my speech, having broken my vows, because I do not want the future suffering. I am sick of suffering. And we also regret our delusions, all the anger and attachment, the rest that are the cause of why we harm others, and think, I am sick of this suffering. So what can I do about it? Whom can I turn to? Where can I get help? So here we come to the power of reliance, and we rely upon, we turn to the Buddha, the doctor, who has the methods that we can use to purify. And it's not that we're needing Guru Vajrasattva to forgive us. We're wanting to use his methods to heal ourselves. So I imagine Guru Vajrasattva is above the crown of your head. You can also imagine this is the mind of your teacher, your Lama, your trusted mentor, manifesting in this form for your benefit. And he's made of radiant, blissful white light, sitting cross-legged on a white lotus and a moon disk. It's this beautiful, radiant face. He has long eyes, lotus-like eyes, they say in the text. And they're very peaceful and full of love and compassion for us. He has this sweet red mouth. His hair is black and held up in a top knot. He's wearing the 5-pointed crown. So this crown is embedded with jewels. You remember this is all made of light, sparkling light. And he's wearing jewelry around his neck, in his ears, his earrings, around his waist and his arms and his wrists and his ankles. And he's wearing these celestial, silken celestial robes in the Royal Indian style. And there's an aura around his head and around his body. And his arms are crossed at his heart, the left underneath the right. The left is holding a bell representing wisdom. The right is holding a vajra, which represents the indestructibility of compassion. And their being crossed represents the union of these two. And this symbolizes enlightenment itself, the development of infinite wisdom and infinite compassion. To the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Sangha, I go for refuge until I'm enlightened. By this practice of meditating on Guru Vajrasattva, may I reach Buddhahood so as to benefit all sentient beings. So we want to also here at this point contemplate a little bit on developing compassion. So in order to develop compassion, we need to rely upon other beings. So in this case, we will think firstly about the people we've harmed, or the sentient beings we've harmed, and develop compassion for them, develop a wish for them to not suffer, to be free from suffering. And think particularly of someone you've harmed recently, maybe. Bring them to your mind and just develop a wish in your heart for them to be free from suffering. And then remember those who have harmed you, and we have compassion for them because they will suffer as a result of the harm that they've done to you. So this is why we develop a wish for them to not suffer. So make a strong aspiration to do this practice of purification for the sake of all these sentient beings, and think, I must purify for their sake. So next we come to the power of the remedy, and this is the actual medicine, the doing of the practice of purification. And there, first of all, we're going to purify the body. So just imagine Guru Vajrasattva very compassionately sending powerful white nectar. It's sort of like, almost like coming out of a hose, very forcefully from his heart. And it arcs around and enters your crown and pours into your entire body, filling you completely. And it pours into you, fills you up, and fills you up. And eventually it pushes out of your lower orifices all the harm you've ever done to any living being with your body in the form of inky liquid. And this pours out of you and disappears into space, not one atom left, as we recite the mantra. Excuse me. Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dira Meboa Sutokaya Meboa Supokaya Meboa Anarakta Meboa Sawasiti Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kama Sitame Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tatagata Vajramame Mutsa Vajrabawa Maha Samaya Sattva Aham Pe Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dira Meboa Sutokaya Meboa Supokaya Meboa Anarakta Meboa Sawasiti Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kama Sitame Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tatagata Vajramame Mutsa Vajrabawa Maha Samaya Sattva Aham Pe Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dira Meboa Sutokaya Meboa Supokaya Meboa Anarakta Meboa Sawasiti Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kama Sitame Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tatagata Vajramame Mutsa Vajrabawa Maha Samaya Sattva Aham Pe Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dira Meboa Sutokaya Meboa Supokaya Meboa Anarakta Meboa Sawasiti Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kama Sitame Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tatagata Vajramame Mutsa Vajrabawa Maha Samaya Sattva Aham Pe Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dira Meboa Sutokaya Meboa Supokaya Meboa Anarakta Meboa Sawasiti Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kama Sitame Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tatagata Vajramame Mutsa Vajrabawa Maha Samaya Sattva Hom Pe. Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dira Mebawa Sutokaya Mebawa Supokaya Mebawa Anarakta Mebawa Sawasiti Mimpiyata Sawa Kama Sitame Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagawan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramame Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva A Hom Pe. Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dira Mebawa Sutokaya Mebawa Supokaya Mebawa Anarakta Mebawa Sawasiti Mimpiyata Sawa Kama Sitame Sitam Shriyam Guruhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagawan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramame Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva A Hom Pe. So be delighted that all the harm you've ever done to any sentient being with your body is now completely purified, and think there's no way you could do anything other than benefit others now with your body. And so the next is to purification of speech. And again, Guru Vajrasattva very happily sends powerful nectar from his heart chakra, and this kind of arcs around and pours into your crown, filling your entire body, except this time forcing up to the top of the body all the negativity of your speech. And this kind of overflows quite powerfully and disappears into space, taking all the negativity of your speech with it. It's just kind of like chunk, all rising to the top of the body, pouring out. You can imagine it's almost like a whale spouting water, pushing it up, disappears into space, not one atom left. So imagine all the gossip and the harsh speech and the useless speech and the lying and talking badly about others behind their backs. All of this is purified by this powerful nectar filling you as you recite the mantra. Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dira Mebawa Sutokaya Mebawa Supokaya Mebawa Anarakta Mebawa Sawasiti Mimpiyata Sawa Kama Sitame Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagawan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramame Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva A Hom Pe. Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dira Mebawa Sutokaya Mebawa Supokaya Mebawa Anarakta Mebawa Sawasiti Mimpiyata Sawa Kama Sitame Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagawan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramame Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva A Hom Pe. Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dira Mebawa Sutokaya Mebawa Supokaya Mebawa Anarakta Mebawa Sawasiti Mimpiyata Sawa Kama Sitame Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagawan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramame Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva A Hom Pe. Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dira Mebawa Sutokaya Mebawa Supokaya Mebawa Anarakta Mebawa Sawasiti Mimpiyata Sawa Kama Sitame Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagawan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramame Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva A Hom Pe. Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dira Mebawa Sutokaya Mebawa Supokaya Mebawa Anarakta Mebawa Sawasiti Mimpiyata Sawa Kama Sitame Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagawan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramame Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva A Hom Pe. Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dira Mebawa Sutokaya Mebawa Supokaya Mebawa Anarakta Mebawa Sawasiti Mimpiyata Sawa Kama Sitame Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagawan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramame Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva A Hom Pe. Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dira Mebawa Sutokaya Mebawa Supokaya Mebawa Anarakta Mebawa Sawasiti Mimpiyata Sawa Kama Sitame Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagawan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramame Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva A Hom Pe. So really imagine that your speech is now completely purified, and it's not possible now to do anything other than benefit others with your speech. And just imagine how amazing would that be. Every time someone hears your voice, it benefits their mind. So the next is a purification of the mind. And Guru Vajrasattva now very compassionately sends light this time, quite a powerful light, from his heart chakra, and this arcs around and enters your crown and fills your entire being. So it's just the same as when you walk into a room and you switch on a light. That light instantly dispels the darkness, doesn't it? So it's the same here. As soon as that light from Vajrasattva's heart hits your heart chakra, all the darkness of the negativity of your mind, all your delusions, your anger, attachment, neediness, grasping, jealousy, bitterness, grudges, wishing to harm, all instantly dispelled, not one atom left as you recite the mantra. Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dida Mebawa Sutokaya Mebawa Supokaya Mebawa Anarakta Mebawa Sawasidi Mempi Yatsa Sawa Kama Sita Me Siddham Shriyam Guru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramame Mutta Vajrabhava Mahasamaya Sattva A Hum Pe Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dida Mebawa Sutokaya Mebawa Supokaya Mebawa Anarakta Mebawa Sawasidi Mimpi Yata Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Guru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramame Mutta Vajrabhava Mahasamaya Sattva A Hum Pe Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dida Mebawa Sutokaya Mebawa Supokaya Mebawa Anarakta Mebawa Sawasidi Mimpi Yata Sawa Kama Sita Me Siddham Shriyam Guru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramame Mutta Vajrabhava Mahasamaya Sattva A Hum Pe Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dida Mebawa Sutokaya Mebawa Supokaya Mebawa Anarakta Mebawa Sawasidi Mimpi Yata Sawa Kama Sita Me Siddham Shriyam Guru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramame Mutta Vajrabhava Mahasamaya Sattva A Hum Pe Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dida Mebawa Sutokaya Mebawa Supokaya Mebawa Anarakta Mebawa Sawasidi Mimpi Yata Sawa Kama Sita Me Siddham Shriyam Guru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramame Mutta Vajrabhava Mahasamaya Sattva A Hum Pe Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dida Mebawa Sutokaya Mebawa Supokaya Mebawa Anarakta Mebawa Sawasidi Mimpi Yata Sawa Kama Sita Me Siddham Shriyam Guru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramame Mutta Vajrabhava Mahasamaya Sattva A Hum Pe Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dida Mebawa Sutokaya Mebawa Supokaya Mebawa Anarakta Mebawa Sawasidi Mimpi Yata Sawa Kama Sita Me Siddham Shriyam Guru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramame Mutta Vajrabhava Mahasamaya Sattva A Hum Pe. So be delighted that all your delusions, which are the source of our own suffering and the cause of why we harm others with our body and our speech, are totally purified, gone, finished. And think there is no space in your heart now for anything other than love and kindness and forgiveness and wisdom and bliss and compassion. So the next is the purification of the imprints of negativity of your body, speech and mind. So this time you can imagine or visualize the previous 3 visualizations of the body, speech and mind. You can do maybe a couple of mantras for each visualization, or you can imagine light and nectar pouring from Guru Vajrasattva's heart, entering your crown, filling you completely, and eradicating even the subtlest imprints of negative energy from your mind as you recite the mantra. Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dida Mebawa Sutokaya Mebawa Supokaya Mebawa Anarakta Mebawa Sawasidi Mimpi Yata Sawa Kama Sita Me Siddham Shriyam Guru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramame Mutta Vajrabhava Mahasamaya Sattva A Hum Pe Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dida Mebawa Sutokaya Mebawa Supokaya Mebawa Anarakta mebelwa sawasiti mepi yatsa sawa kama sitame sitam shriyam kuruhum ha 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 ho bhagavan sawa tata gata vajramame mutsa vajrabawa mahasamaya sattva aham pe om Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dina patita dida mebelwa sutokaya mebelwa supokaya mebelwa Anarakta mebelwa sawasiti mepi yatsa sawa kama sitame sitam shriyam kuruhum ha 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 ho bhagavan sawa tata gata vajramame mutsa vajrabawa mahasamaya sattva aham pe om Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dina patita dida mebelwa sutokaya mebelwa supokaya mebelwa Narakta mebelwa sawasiti mepi yatsa sawa kamasitame sitam shriyam kuruhum ha 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 ho bhagavan sawa tata gata vajramame mutsa vajrabawa mahasamaya sattva aham pe om Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dina patita dida mebelwa sutokaya mebelwa supokaya mebelwa Anarakta mebelwa sawasiti mepi yatsa sawa kamasitame sitam shriyam kuruhum ha 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 ho bhagavan sawa tata gata vajramame mutsa vajrabawa mahasamaya sattva aham pe om Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dina patita dida mebelwa sutokaya mebelwa supokaya mebelwa Anarakta mebelwa sawasiti mepi yatsa sawa kamasitame sitam shriyam kuruhum ha 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 ho bhagavan sawa tata gata vajramame mutsa vajrabawa mahasamaya sattva aham pe om Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dina patita dida mebelwa sutokaya mebelwa supokaya mebelwa Anarakta mebelwa sawasiti mepi yatsa sawa kamasitame sitam shriyam kuruhum ha 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 ho bhagavan sawa tata gata vajramame mutsa vajrabawa mahasamaya sattva aham pe. Now feel completely purified. Not one atom of negativity is left in your mind stream. Even the subtlest obscurations to omniscience have been removed. So the final step in this purification process is resolve. And so here we make a decision. We just decide, I'm not going to harm. But we are human and we have habits, so this is not going to happen overnight. So we start slowly, humbly, working on things a little bit at a time. So even if you only even remember to work on your speech, this one particular aspect of your speech for 5 minutes in a day, that's fantastic. You remembered. And please do rejoice in the progress that you've been making. So think of something that you'd like to work on tonight, between tonight and tomorrow. And you can sort of say to yourself, I'm going to refrain from this from the time I go to bed till when I first wake up in the morning. So say it's talking about somebody behind the back. So you won't do it because you'll be asleep. So just think of something, make it simple, make it doable. Okay. So next, Guru Vajrasattva is delighted with us and wanting to merge with your mind, melts into white light and absorbs into you through your crown, and think, my Guru's body, speech and mind, and Vajrasattva's body, speech and mind, and my own body, speech and mind are the same thing. And LAMA YESHE used to call this union oneness. So next, Lama Rinpoche recommends to meditate on the emptiness of the three circles. In emptiness there is no I, the creator of negative karma. There is no action of creating negative karma. And there is no negative karma created. So place your mind, at whatever level you understand emptiness, place your mind there for a moment, thinking perhaps as all phenomena as being empty, they do not exist from their own side. And maybe you can also think that the way things are appearing to me may not necessarily be the way they actually exist. So let's just dedicate all the positive energy, all the merit we've created this evening together by doing this purification to all living beings, particularly all those beings in Ukraine, including all the animals, the zoo animals, the animals in the wild, and the people are probably terrified, sad, angry. So just dedicate all this merit to them. May this situation in Ukraine be resolved as soon as possible. And then think for His Holiness Stellar Lama, the wish-granting, wish-fulfilling jewel, source of every single benefit and happiness in this world. To the incomparably kind Tenzin Gyatso I beseech, may all your holy wishes be spontaneously fulfilled. And for Lama Rinpoche, you who uphold the subdurer's moral way, who serves as the bountiful bearer of all, sustaining, preserving and spreading Manjana's victorious doctrine, who masterfully accomplishes magnificent prayers honouring the three jewels, savour of myself and others, your disciples, please live long. And for Lama Ursel, Venerable One, to you whose kindness exceeds that of all the conquerors, for those wanderers in far-off places, especially the West, mindful of your loving concern for us and intentionally descending again into a family of a far distant land, we make this request. O Lama, please live long. And for Geshe Cherub, beloved teacher, leading your students towards wisdom and compassion, explaining through exacting discernment the steps of the graduated path, you are the unequaled guide. Please live a long and stable life. Hello, Lorraine, welcome. And good night. And thank you so very much, everybody. Lots of love to you all. Thank you very, very much. I'll see some of you tomorrow morning, maybe. And take care between now and then. Okay, good night, everyone.
Thank you.
Thanks, Mary.
Wonderful.